Welcome, everyone. I am thrilled to guide you through one of the most transformative aspects of Microsoft 365 Copilot. Let's get started. Welcome, everyone, to this deep dive into Microsoft 365 generative AI capabilities. I'm excited to have you here today. As business professionals, we are constantly bombarded with information, and navigating this sea of data requires more than just traditional search tools. This brings us to the core of our session today, understanding the vital differences between a general Copilot chat experience and a specialized Copilot agent experience. By the end of this training, you won't just know what these tools are, you will know exactly when and how to deploy them to multiply your productivity. We will start with the basics of generative AI and the Microsoft ecosystem, explore the architecture of open-ended chat, and then dive deep into the highly focused world of AI agents. Whether you are summarizing yesterday's chaotic email threads or building a custom AI teammate to analyze complex financial regulations, mastering this distinction is your key to unlocking the true power of Microsoft 365. Let's jump right in and transform how you work. Take a look at this high-level flowchart. At the very top, we have Microsoft 365 Copilot acting as the foundational intelligence engine for your workspace. From there, the capability splits into two distinct branches based on your immediate needs. On the left, we have the Copilot chat experience. This is your general-purpose assistant. It casts a wide net, utilizing broad grounding across your entire tenant or the public web to answer ad hoc questions. On the right, we have the Copilot agent experience. Think of this branch as your specialized task force. Agents are laser-focused, utilizing tightly scoped knowledge and specific instructions to execute repeatable business processes. Understanding this structural split is crucial because it dictates how you frame your prompts and which tool you select to accomplish your daily objectives efficiently. Now, let's explore the Copilot chat experience. Think of Copilot chat as your versatile, everyday AI companion. It's a conversational interface that sits alongside you while you work in Teams, Word, or your browser. The beauty of chat lies in its breadth. When you are in work mode, Copilot Chat utilizes the Microsoft Graph to securely reason over all the emails, chats, and documents you have access to. If you switch to web mode, it shifts its grounding to the public internet via the Bing search index, perfect for external market research. Use chat for ad hoc, in-the-moment tasks. Need to summarize a chaotic email thread from yesterday? Use chat. Need to brainstorm 5 title ideas for a presentation? Use chat. However, because it is a generalist, it doesn't inherently know your specific departmental processes unless you explicitly define them in every single prompt. It is brilliant for horizontal productivity, but it relies heavily on your immediate instructions to generate value. Let's walk through the architecture of a Copilot chat request visually. It starts on the left with you, the user, entering a prompt. The prompt hits the central Copilot chat orchestrator, which acts as a traffic controller. Based on the toggle you selected, the request routes down one of 2 paths. The top path is work mode. Here, Copilot securely queries the Microsoft Graph, fetching context from your private SharePoint files, Teams messages, and Outlook emails. The bottom path is web mode, which securely queries the public web. Regardless of the path taken, the retrieved data is fed into the large language model to generate a synthesized, natural language response. This diagram perfectly illustrates the breadth of the chat experience. It is a wide funnel designed to retrieve and summarize information from massive, generalized data pools to answer your immediate questions. Moving beyond general chat, we enter the powerful world of Copilot agents. If Copilot Chat is your generalist assistant, a Copilot agent is an expert teammate hired for a very specific job. When you interact with an agent, you aren't just talking to a raw language model. You are interacting with a tailored entity that has a predefined persona, strict instructions, and scoped knowledge. Why is this important? Because it saves you time and ensures consistency. Instead of writing a massive prompt every time explaining how to format a financial report, you build or use a financial agent that already knows the rules. Agents are designed for depth. They don't look at your entire inbox unless told to. They look at the specific SharePoint folders or databases they were trained on. Furthermore, agents can have unique capabilities. Some can execute Python code to perform complex data analysis, while others can generate images. This makes the agent experience highly focused, repeatable, and deeply integrated into specific business workflows. This diagram breaks down the anatomy of a Copilot agent, showing exactly why it differs from a standard chat. At the core, the agent is built on 3 foundational pillars. First, on the left, we have persona and instructions. This dictates who the agent is and how it speaks, for example, acting as a strict compliance reviewer. In the center, we have scoped knowledge. Notice that unlike general chat, this points to specific SharePoint sites or individual files, creating a boundary that ensures the agent only references highly relevant, curated data. Finally, on the right, we have advanced capabilities. This is where agents truly shine, utilizing tools like a code interpreter for complex math or executing custom API actions to interact with external enterprise systems. When you bring these three pillars together, you get a highly specialized, reliable AI teammate. To help you hit the ground running, Microsoft provides powerful pre-built agents right out of the box. Two of the most impactful are the researcher and the analyst. Let's look at the analyst first. If you upload a massive Excel spreadsheet into standard Copilot chat, it can summarize the text. But if you hand that same spreadsheet to the analyst agent, it acts as a virtual data scientist. It uses chain-of-thought reasoning and can actually execute code to calculate statistics, find hidden anomalies, and generate visual charts. The researcher agent is equally impressive. When you need to dive deep into a market trend, standard chat gives you a quick summary. The researcher, however, conducts multi-step investigations across the web and your internal documents, asking you clarifying questions and returning a structured report complete with verifiable citations. These pre-built agents showcase the immense cognitive leap from simple question-and-answer chat to autonomous, task-oriented execution. Here we see the workflow of our two premier pre-built agents. On the top path, the user uploads raw data to the analyst agent. The analyst doesn't just read the data. The diagram shows it moving to a step where it executes code to perform rigorous mathematical evaluation, ultimately generating charts and statistics. On the bottom path, the user provides a topic to the researcher agent. Instead of a single query, the researcher engages in a multi-step search process, reasoning over the findings before compiling a highly structured report backed by citations. Both paths converge on delivering a high-value final output to the user. This visual highlights how these agents take on the heavy lifting of complex analytical and research workflows. What if the pre-built agents don't cover your specific business process? That is where custom declarative agents come into play. Using Copilot Studio, you can build your own specialized AI assistants without writing a single line of code. Imagine you are an HR manager. You are tired of answering the same onboarding questions. You can create an onboarding agent. You simply give it a name, write instructions telling it to be welcoming and precise, and crucially, you attach the specific employee handbooks and policy PDFs as its only knowledge source. Now, when a new hire asks a question, the agent only answers based on your approved documents. You can then share this agent with specific people or the entire organization. This transforms Copilot from a personal productivity tool into a scalable, enterprise-wide asset that enforces consistency, reduces errors, and standardizes how information is delivered across your teams. Let's trace the life cycle of creating a custom agent using this sequence diagram. It begins with the user interacting with Copilot Studio. The first step is defining the persona and instructions telling the AI how to behave. Next, the user attaches specific files or selects SharePoint sites. Copilot Studio then securely indexes this scoped data into the knowledge base. Once the knowledge is locked in and the instructions are set, Copilot Studio publishes the custom agent. The final, crucial step is deployment. The user shares this newly minted expert agent with their team. This simple, code-free sequence empowers anyone in the business to create highly capable, secure AI workflows in minutes. To solidify our understanding, let's draw a hard line between these two experiences. The easiest way to think about it is breadth versus depth. The Copilot chat experience is broad. It has access to your entire Microsoft Graph or the public web. It is brilliant for quick, ad hoc tasks where you need to pull from various sources on the fly. However, because it is a blank slate, you must provide detailed instructions about tone and format every single time you prompt it. The agent experience, conversely, is deep and narrow. Agents have a persistent memory of their persona. If you tell an agent to always respond in bullet points and only use a specific financial dataset, it will do exactly that every time, without you needing to remind it. You use chat when you are navigating the unpredictable chaos of your daily inbox and calendar. You use an agent when you need to execute a strict, repeatable, specialized business process. This comparison tree provides a clear visual summary of our core topic. From the central Copilot experience, we diverge into our two models. Look at the left branch. The chat experience is characterized by a broad scope, reliance on ad hoc prompts, and access to graph or web-wide data. It is expansive. Now look at the right branch. The agent experience is the exact opposite. It features a narrow scope, operates on persistent instructions, and relies strictly on scoped knowledge. When you are deciding which tool to use, visualize this diagram. Ask yourself, do I need broad, flexible assistance, or do I need narrow, disciplined execution? Your answer will guide you to the right tool. Let's put this into practice with a real-time use case. Imagine you are leading a new product launch. It's Monday morning and your director needs a comprehensive strategy brief in 2 hours. You start with the Copilot chat experience. You prompt chat to summarize all unread emails and Teams messages tagged launch. In seconds, chat synthesizes the internal chaos into a neat list of updates. Next, you need external market context. You switch to the researcher agent. You ask it to analyze competitor pricing trends over the last quarter. Because it's an agent, it conducts a deep, multi-step web search and returns a structured analysis with citations. Finally, you draft the brief, but it must meet strict legal guidelines. You open your custom-built compliance review agent, which has been trained on your company's legal policies. You feed it the draft, and it flags 2 potential regulatory issues. In under an hour, by combining the breadth of chat with the depth of agents, you've produced a flawless, data-backed strategy. This workflow diagram maps out our market launch scenario chronologically. We start at Node 1 with Copilot Chat, using its broad capability to summarize messy internal communications. We then move to Node 2, handing the analytical heavy lifting over to the researcher agent for deep web analysis and citations. Finally, the data flows to Node 3, where a custom agent performs a highly restricted policy verification based on its scoped knowledge. The output is a perfected final strategy brief. This visual proves that chat and agents are not mutually exclusive. Rather, they are highly complementary tools that form a complete, end-to-end productivity pipeline when used correctly. As we wrap up, we must address the most critical aspect of any AI deployment: security and compliance. Whether you are using the broad Copilot chat or a highly specialized custom agent, you are protected by Microsoft's comprehensive enterprise data protection. The AI respects your existing identity and access management. If you don't have permission to see a SharePoint file, neither Copilot chat nor an agent will be able to read it or summarize it for you. Furthermore, your proprietary business data is never used to train the foundational OpenAI models. However, technology is only half the equation. Responsible AI requires human oversight. These tools are incredibly powerful, but they can make mistakes or generate ungrounded inferences. You must always review and verify the output before sharing it. Remember the core lesson today: utilize Copilot chat for your daily, ad hoc administrative heavy lifting. But when you face complex, repeatable business processes, take the time to leverage or build an AI agent. Thank you for your time and enjoy exploring these incredible capabilities. Our final diagram illustrates the security architecture that underpins everything we've discussed today. A user request enters either Copilot chat or an agent. Immediately, it hits the Microsoft 365 trust boundary. Within this boundary, 2 massive safeguards take over. On the left, Enter ID permissions ensure the AI only accesses data the user is explicitly authorized to view. On the right, data protection protocols ensure that data remains encrypted and isolated. Only after passing through these strict checkpoints does the AI interact with your tenant data. This visual should give you absolute peace of mind. Your data remains your data, fully secured and governed by your organizational policies, whether you are chatting broadly or executing tasks via an agent.